Hi everyone, this is Callyn here with FreshRx today. I'm just a local yoga instructor who's been teaching about 8 years, so I wanted to come on here and offer some cooling breathing techniques for this hot summer. So I think we've all experienced being overheated, overstimulated, overwhelmed. These breathing techniques can help with all of that. And if you've ever done yoga before, you know that breath is one of the fundamental aspects. It's something that we stay focused on. It helps keep us grounded, keeps us centered, keeps us focused. And so doing these breathing techniques for cooling for the body will be great, but they'll also help you find your focus, find your center, and realign. So let's start with just finding a comfortable seat. You can practice this right here with me as long as you have a comfortable place to sit or even to stand. But it is comfortable if you breathe with the eyes closed. So maybe find a place to sit. I always like to sit back on a pillow just to lift the hips a little bit higher than the knees. That way when we sit, we're not getting real tight in the hips. We're able to really relax. So if you want to sit up on a blanket, a pillow, or even two pillows, just really lift those hips higher than the knees. So let's just start with letting the hands rest in the lap, either in the center or on your knees. Sit nice and tall. Close the eyes, soften through the face, the chest, the shoulders. And just begin to notice your body. Notice how you're sitting. Before we get into these specific breathing techniques, I want you to tune into your own breath, just this natural breath that always carries you through the day without you noticing, without you being aware. Just start to tune into it right here. So a couple ways you can do that. You can try to follow the breath from the beginning of the inhale all the way out to the end of the exhale. You can notice the quality of your breath. Does it feel sticky or tight in any places? You can notice where in your body that you tend to breathe. Is it more up in your chest? Is it lower in your belly? Neither one is better than the other. It just is. So just notice what you're working with. So the first breathing technique that we're going to practice is called Satali in the yogic tradition. It's just a cooling breath that invites cool air into the body, so there's an immediate cooling effect. So if you're able to curl your tongue, you would curl your tongue and then invite air in through the mouth for your inhale and then push it out through the exhale. The most important part of this practice is the inhale because that's where you're literally drawing in cool air. And if you're like me who can't actually curl their tongue, what you can do is open up your mouth, showing your teeth, and then suck in air through the teeth for the inhale, and then push it out for the exhale. So it'll look something like this. Whether you can curl your tongue or not, let's practice it together. So again, sitting nice and tall, just relaxed hands in the lap. And then whether you curl your tongue or you just open up through the mouth, sucking in the air through the teeth. Let's take a big breath in. And then gently let it out. Let's do that again, sucking it in or through the curled tongue. And letting it out. So remember, this is definitely less about how it looks. You might not do this in public around a bunch of strangers. Just do it from the comfort of your own home or anytime that you need some cooling. It really doesn't matter how you look. It's more about that effect that it has on your body. So that's the first technique. If you might notice that there's an immediate, your mouth is already cool. You feel the effects of that practice even after just 2 rounds. At least I do. So know that you can take this at any point throughout your day that you need a little bit of cooling or just de-stressing and practice this technique. So the next one I have for you is a little bit more complicated just in that it uses our hands as well. It's called Nadi Shodhana or alternate nostril breathing. So we're going to be breathing in through one nostril and out through the other, just isolating the channels, breathing in and out, and then switching, breathing in and out, using the help of our hands to plug off one nostril or the other. So what I like to do is, let's see, we'll use the hand, you can take it out in front of you, and curl down the front 2 fingers, so the pointer and the middle finger. We're not going to really use the pinky, we're going to use the ring finger and the thumb. So we're using this mudra, or hand posture, to alternate between the 2 nostrils. That way we don't have to do this plugging with one hand. It's very easy just to use one hand and go back and forth. That way it can be more of a meditative practice. What we'll do is plug off the right nostril first, So we'll take a big breath in through the left nostril, and then what you'll do is switch as you exhale, and then exhale out of the right. So in through the right, and then switch, exhale through the left. So you'll know you've completed one round when you've inhaled through the left nostril and then exhaled out the right, inhale right, and then exhale left. So it starts and ends on the left side. That's how you can keep track of your progress. Traditionally, people do this anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. You can practice this as long as you need. One of my favorite reasons why to do this breath work is that it has more of a calming effect. So you talk about the summer where it's usually very active, very busy, overstimulating. This breath can have a cooling effect on the body, but also a calming effect on the brain, the nervous system, which I think we could all use a little bit more of. So let's try a couple rounds together. I do recommend blowing your nose using a Kleenex to clear anything out because you'll be applying a little bit of pressure to your nostrils, and so we don't want to have any clogging going on. So again, taking that mudra, 2 front fingers pointing down, and we're going to use the ring and the thumb. So sitting nice and tall, again closing the eyes down if you want. And let's just start by taking that ring finger and plugging off the right nostril. Just practice taking a couple breaths in and out of this left nostril. Just noticing how it feels to isolate the breath like this, to breathe using just one of your energy side channels. It's great to do this, just breathing on one side for a couple rounds for a lot of reasons, just to get used to the feeling, but also to notice if there's any stagnation, if you need to blow any clutter out. And then go ahead and switch. So taking your thumb to the left nostril, plugging it off, and taking a couple breaths in and out of this right nostril. So you'll notice by sound or just by feeling like you can't take a full breath, you can't get all the air in, that's how you know you might need to blow your nose. Good, and then relax that. And we'll just try 1 or 2 rounds together, breathing together, and see how it goes. So again, taking that ring finger, plugging off your right nostril, let's take a big breath in. And then at the top of your inhale, switch off, plug off the right or the left nostril with your thumb, exhale out the right. Now we're going to stay right here. Inhale through the right, switch off, exhale out the left. That's 1 round. Inhale right here through the left. Switch, exhale out the right. Big inhale through the right. Switch, exhale out the left. So you might take a timer, set a timer for 2 to 3 minutes or 5 minutes if you have the time, and really notice that calming effect on the body, the nervous system. Really, a lot of what this is that we're balancing the energy channels in our body, but we're also giving our mind something to focus on. So there's really no room for thinking about what you're having for dinner tonight or thinking about that conversation you had earlier that didn't end well. This is a space for you to be fully focused and present with one simple action, because you're inhaling, switch, exhaling, inhaling, switch, exhaling. So it kind of becomes a meditative process, which is one of the reasons why I really like it. All right, so this next one is pretty fun, especially if you are in the comfort of your own homes or if you have kids. This is a great one to practice around them. It's called lion's breath, and you can imagine what that might look like. It's a big breath, a lot of exhaling the heat out of the mouth. That's what you can think about. So for this one, we're literally thinking about panting like a dog. They stick their tongue out. That's how they cool down. So we can take a hint from the dogs and stick our tongue out, and that's a cooling breathing technique for ourselves as well. So it's very, very simple. What you do, sitting up nice and tall, again, this is the foundation of where we practice our breath, no matter what breathing technique you're going to practice. What you'll do, close down the eyes, you'll stick out your tongue as far as you can, open the mouth, and just a big exhale through the mouth. So you can almost think of like a silent roar. This is really fun, especially if you have kids. So big breath in, and then sticking out the tongue, big exhale. Don't be afraid to make a little bit of noise if you want to make it even more playful. So the other techniques, especially that Satali, the first breath with the curled tongue, that's more inviting in cool air. Lion's breath you can think of as pushing out any hot, stale, stagnant air. So just sending some of that heat out of your body. So this is a great practice. Anytime you just need to de-stress, let some energy out, try this lion's breath. All right, y'all, so this last breathing technique, we're getting real cozy with it. You'll want to use a wall and a comfortable something to lay on, whether it's a blanket or a yoga mat if you have one. We're going to definitely utilize this wall just to invite the body into a calm state. There's a lot of benefits to putting your legs up the wall, which is what we're going to do. So how you'll set up for this is get your butt and your hips as close to the wall as you can. And then as you lay down, you might scoot them up a little bit closer, but those legs are just going straight up. And you'll know if this feels comfortable or not. You might need to make some adjustments. Some people like to put a pillow under their head for a little bit of elevation, but it doesn't really matter how it looks. It's more just how it feels, because we want to relax through the knees, the quads, the ankles, letting the wall literally support you, legs up the wall. For this breathing technique, we're going to practice samavritti, which is just, it translates to even fluctuations of the breath. So we're just breathing in at the same pace, the same rate as we're breathing out. So for me, I like to take one hand to the belly, one hand to the chest, and just finding that breath, kind of like we did at the beginning, that slower, longer breath, just tuning in to your body, tuning into the way that you're breathing, and really doing your best to breathe slow, intentionally, and easy, but full breath. So we don't want to be efforting here. We don't want to be, we really want it to be slow, gentle, calming for the body. So all of these techniques are meant to calm, meant to ground. And what's happening here with the legs up the wall is we're allowing all the blood to flow down the legs into these vital organs, the whole organ system that we've got going down in our core. So that just kind of rejuvenates, gives life back to those organs. So even sitting here for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, a great, great practice of you just focusing on your breath, taking some time for yourself, reconnecting with you, what's going on, and just allowing yourself to take a moment to calm, to feel supported, and to ground. This might be y'all's favorite. I really love just sitting here, legs up the wall. It's very relaxing. And then to come out of it, you want to be a little slow, a little gentle, maybe bending one knee first and just choosing a side that you want to roll off to. Starting to lift yourself back up. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you try one of these 4 different techniques at home and just know that they're always available to you. Everything except for the legs up the wall you can pretty much do from anywhere, sitting in your car waiting for your kids to get out of school, things like that. So just know that there are things that are available to you, tools at your disposal, your breath, that can help you calm, help you cool, help you de-stress. And taking care of the mind and the body is just important through yoga and movement and breath as eating fresh vegetables and fruits. So just know that it's a holistic practice and all of these different elements are equally important. So again, thank you so much for joining. I hope that you guys try these out. Let me know what you think.